All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome here. I'm so happy to be able to talk to all of you. And today's webinar is called Looking Back, Moving Forward. Okay, so thank you so much for those of you who joined in. I hope that we can keep this session a very nice and interactive session. So at any time at all, you can feel free to type in the chat box to ask any questions or to make any kind of comments. Can I just know if you can hear me okay? Are you able to hear me, everyone? If yes, you can say yes. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Doreen. Thank you, Zainaria and Chris and everybody. So, if at any time you would like to message me personally, also, I'm going to share with you a little bit about how to do that. Yeah. So today's topic is very close to my heart because it's called "Looking Back, but Yet We're Moving Forward." So we need to reflect first before we can take a step forward, right? So that's a little bit of what we're going to do. My name is Pam and I'm here to share this with you. So, first of all, a little bit of housekeeping. Just make sure that your internet connection is stable and you're using a good browser, and also make sure that you're able to hear me well. And if at any time you're experiencing any kind of internet connection issues, you can send a private message to Elias Naluri Events, and our my friend is here actually, so she will help you out. All right, if anything that you need to ask. And also, you will have handouts at the end of the webinar. Please don't forget to download that in the handouts section. And please participate in our questions and also polls. We will have polls as well. And anytime at all, if you want to ask anything, you can just type in the chat box. And you can also type your thoughts if you have any comments about anything. If you want to send me a private message, I love this platform because you can do that. You just have to type alias and then my name, Pam, and you can send me a private message. Yeah. All right. So let's get to it. This is me. I'm Pam. I'm a clinical psychologist and I am also a lecturer and I'm also a mediator, PFAator, and I do a lot of community webinars and I love interacting with people. And I also do remote therapy as well. So this is something that I really enjoy interacting and connecting with people. So this webinar, or rather I would say very nice reflection section, is about us really looking back at things that happened in your life, any key events, any particular milestones that happened, and maybe the lessons that you learned before we can learn how to move forward. Because sometimes you might have some experiences that you went through this year that you might need to make peace with, that you might need to let go of, or that you might need to address before we take a step forward, right? So, this is the place that we can do that together. And we're going to get right to it, okay, everyone? So, before we really go deeper, can all of you share with me? Tell me one word that describes how you feel about the past year. Okay, thank you so much, Weixin. Weixin says it was horrible for her. Okay, I can definitely resonate with a lot of horrible moments too. Miserable, tough, challenging, yes. Unku says it was tough. Okay, busy. Jason says it was busy. Anybody else? Thankful, mixed feelings. I like what Vanessa says. Yeah, I think I would say it was mixed feelings actually. I went through one of the hardest moments of my life this year when I experienced grief, losing my friend who passed away. But at the same time, I also gained a new friend and also was able to connect, and heal, I think, but still healing. That it's hard. Okay, flies. Time flies. Yes, can you imagine, Doreen? It's already December. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Cherish. Okay, there are a lot of like mixed answers in the chat box, right? And all of your answers reflect that there are ups and downs, actually. Not everybody had a good year. Not everybody had a bad year as well. There were a mixture of ups and downs. That's why in December, I can't believe it's December also. It really passed by so fast, right? And it really helps us to realize we're going to come to a poll now. So this is an anonymous poll. Can you see the poll? I would like to ask you on the scale of 1 to 5, what's your number if we have to measure your satisfaction about your year this year? What would be your number? Is it 1? Is it 2, 3, 4, or 5? So 5 being very satisfied and 1 being so dissatisfied. What would be your number to measure satisfaction? Okay, so I can see that Most of you put 4. There were some who put 2. Anyone who says 1, very dissatisfied. It could be also, right? Nobody says completely perfect. Okay, of course, understandable. But majority of you say 4. Interesting. Really, really interesting. I think we can see like majority actually agree with 4, right? So it was pretty satisfying. There are a few that says that it was really almost not satisfied at all. Whatever you're feeling, the first thing that we need to do right now is reflect what is causing the satisfaction or what was causing the dissatisfaction. That is a very important reflection for us because we're going to carry that to 2025. So we want to know how do we reach a higher number from what we reached this year, preferably, right? So we're going to look back using a timeline creation. We're going to do this together. And in that timeline, I want you to think of your accomplishments that you went through or your bad, terrible challenges that you went through. Okay. And you're going to look at your personal and professional milestones. You're going to look at your ups and downs. And we're going to do this looking at it in a timeline. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. So these are the elements that I need you to do it. Can I give you like a few seconds to grab a pen and a paper? Can everyone grab something? If you have a tablet, okay, that's good because you can like use your pen and draw on your tablet because you need to draw something. It's like a graph. Can you grab a pen and paper, everybody? Is that okay? All right. Okay. Still grateful for the little things above all the bad stuff. That's nice, Zainaria. I think I relate to that as well. Okay, you're ready? Thank you, Vanessa. Okay. Pugo says surprise. A lot of surprises this year. Okay, so you're ready right now? Take note of this key events, accomplishments, or challenges, your milestones, your peak achievements for this year, and your ups and downs, okay, emotions as well. So, this is how we're going to do it. Let's draw this graph together. Can you see that? So, you have the y axis. So, ultimately or ideally, the y axis, right, is going to represent the peaks or the moments or the accomplishments that you've been through, like what I shared with you just now. Then the x-axis over here, okay, that is going to represent the months. Can you see the months? So January, February, March, April, but that's just the JFMA. So let's draw it together right now. Are you drawing it? Let's do it together. So you're going to have like 12 months here. Okay, I'm gonna number it 1, 2, 3, 4, because I think for me number makes it faster and nicer. You can also put it as a JFMA. Okay, so until December. And can you think of like January? Let's start with January. What happened in January with regards to this part here? Accomplishments. What happened with regards to challenges? What were some milestones that you achieved in January? How was your emotion? So let's say that this particular scale here is how much was it? So 0 is the middle axis, and above, of course, would mean the intensity of the good experience that you had. Down would be the negativity of the experience that you had. So can you put a number for your January? Let's say the maximum is 10, okay, on the top. So at least it gives you a bit of a scale, right? So if the maximum is 10, January was the most horrible month for me because that's when I found out about my friend passing away. So I'm going to put negative. Mine is going to be negative. And it was horrible, horrible. So negative. Okay, February was a bit better. I think I was coping a bit better. I'm going to put it as 0. 0 from negative to 0. March. So what does your graph look like, everyone? Are you okay? Are you okay over there? Thank you, Zoom ID. Welcome. Just joined us. We're doing a timeline graph to commemorate our months, peak achievements across the months. Okay, so you're going to draw this graph right now, everybody. Let's do this together. What about March? What does your March look like? My March was like, I think I'm going to put 5 out of 10. So it's in the middle. What does your April look like? So later you're going to connect the dots, okay, together. Um, you can look at your, you can definitely look at your calendar. That's a good idea, Farah. Look at your calendar to commemorate. We can spend some time on this. Let's spend another 5 more minutes doing this. So you can definitely look at your calendar. Yes. Anybody else? What number would you give your March? So I'm going to give mine as 5 out of 10. But can you also label what happened there? So, for example, my negative in January is because of grief. Okay. My 0 in 2 is because I was coping better with social support. And I think I was doing well in my job. It was getting up a little bit. In March, what was your number in March? What happened in March? Yeah, it's quite hard to remember now. I also have to look at my Google Calendar. So look back at that, and I want you to really focus on your peak achievement. Can you see that, everyone? What went well, or what went shitty, or what went great? How were you feeling if you have to put it on an axis? What were you feeling at that time? For example, in March, I was doing a psychological first aid training in schools. I think that was good. I was happy with that. So I'm going to put it as 7 out of 10, for example. Then April. So do your graph, everyone, and then connect the dots. May. How was May? How was June for you? Was it stressful? If yes, maybe your graph goes down a bit. Think of it as intensity of achievements and emotions. That would be how you would grade, what was your number. Are you all, are you done? Are you at June now? Look back at your calendar. You don't have to rush. We actually are going to really invest some time on this one. So we're trying to reflect together. So once you've done, I'm at June now. In June, I traveled to Miri. So for my friend's wedding, I think I'm going to put that as 9. It was nice. So that's kind of how you reflect on it. What went well? What did you achieve at that time? I did, I think, an event with a company. So I like that. That went well. So what exactly would be on your calendar? August. Let's go to August right now. Everyone, are you okay so far? Are you drawing your graph together? Is it helpful to reflect back? I think all of us looking at our Google Calendar is really interesting, right? Look back, look at September. How was September for you? Did you do anything in September that you achieved something in September? What exactly went? Did you go for a holiday? Did you do something? Did you actually finish your work? What you wanted to do? Was it a stressful time? If it was, put it on the graph. Put it as negative if you must. What exactly was your number? And then we go to October. October was the most busiest month, one of the most busiest months for psychologists, because World Mental Health Month. Then go over to November. And November, how was November for you? My friend was very sick in November. That was a difficult time, but I was able to achieve a lot in my work, for example. And what about December right now? Okay, can everyone look at your graph at the moment? Can you type in the chat box what was the highest peak event? Looking at your graph right now, right? Can you type in the chat box? What was your highest peak achievement in your graph? The event of it. 8, okay. And Zainaria, the 8 was for what event? Can you share with us? Something that you achieved? Anything that you want to share? What was the 8 for? Would you like to share with us? Or anybody else as well can share. What was your highest number um, in your graph? What was your highest number that you got? Okay, 9. Hiking at Himalayas for 6 days was relaxing. Wow, Rayson, that is like amazing. That is amazing. At the Himalayas, I can't even imagine how peaceful it must have been. And that's a 9, exactly. Achieved a milestone for one of our programs with schools. That's really nice. I like that. Helen, Helen says 9. What was the 9 for? Checking my husband's bucket list together. Oh, that's beautiful. It's really wonderful. Actually, doing a bucket list is so important. I do that with my friends sometimes as well. Okay, next stop, we gotta do this together. We gotta do that together. So that's nice. What about the rest of you? Managed to start writing after a writer's block. Congratulations, Farah. That's not easy at all. That's really, really not easy. Mine would be my highest peak was I was able to travel back more often this year to my hometown in Penang, and I was happy I was able to do that because sometimes things get so busy and it's really hard. Okay, so that's how you do this particular timeline. You got the so this those are the peaks, right? Those are the peaks. Keep a picture of your timeline. Take a picture of it, everybody, because that is going to be your end of the year report for yourself, your reflection on 2024. Congratulations, Akbar says 9. I was married and going for honeymoon with my wife. That's so beautiful. Congratulations on that. Anybody else? Peak achievements this year, 2024? Big, big, big achievements. Not 10, okay. Because they are still honeymooning. Maybe at the end of December 31st will be 10, right? All right, okay. Um, what was your lowest number? Can everyone share with me? What was your lowest number? If I can give 100, I will give 100. Okay, 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 great. His wife is also in the call. Okay, what is your lowest number, everyone? I'm going to say minus 10. That was my lowest number. What about you guys? Among in your graph, can you reflect on what was your lowest number? Minus 10. I'm so sorry, recent breakup. That's painful. That's horrible. Must have been really, really painful for you. And I'm so sorry. Minus 1. Okay, Putri says minus 1. Minus 10. I lost two good friends. Oh no, Farah, I'm so sorry. Losing people is like really, really difficult. And that can definitely bring our graph down. You know, you feel like your whole world has gone upside down at that time, right? Sometimes you might if it's a minus 10 also, you might have even questioned, can I actually get through this year? But you're here today, you know? That's the amazing part. Anybody else want to share? What was your lowest point and what was your number? You know why we're doing this graph, right? It's really wonderful for us to reflect, actually, because sometimes we talk about emotions with our friends or our family, but people don't really, even you yourself also, you may not realize the intensity of that event or experience or kejadian, that particular circumstance on you. You may not realize the intensity of the impact on your life until you do this graph today. Then you realize, like, wow, it was minus 10. It was rock bottom. That's how I felt. And it's very, I don't know about you, but I do feel like a closure. Sharing it with you, sharing it with someone makes it real, makes it validated, and acknowledges the pain that you went through. Losing a close friend and forced to move out of my family home. Ouch, that's painful. Moving is already huge, and then losing someone is also huge. That's painful. But thank you, God. Thank you all for sharing. I really, really appreciate unsuccessful pregnancy. I'm really sorry about that, Helen. I got a friend who just had a miscarriage, and I can see how painful that can be for people as well. I mean, that's really never easy, right? It's also a form of grief, actually. Thank you so much, all of you, for sharing this. Really, really appreciate that. 3 failed IVF. Ah, that's tough. That's rough, right? And you know what's the amazing thing? You've been through all of that, and now you're surviving here. You made it to December, and you're strong. You're a really resilient person. Really. I wanna change the narrative a little bit right now. Can you now name 3 things that you are most proud of this year? Can you tell me 3 things that you are most proud of this year? Can you share with me? What are the 3 things most proud of yourself, lah? Preferably, it's on you actually. I mean, of course, you're proud of your significant others and family, but I'm asking about this is more about 3 things about yourself that you're most proud of. Okay, your son. How about yourself? Like, as in 3 things that you did that you're most proud of this year, that you achieved. 3 things. Can you name, or just name one in the chat box if you can, that you're very, very proud of? Can you name that? Anything? I'm going to put, I was able to clear, this is only one of it, okay? My to-do list, it was so hard to clear it. Every day was lots of things to do. I was able to clear lots of things off my to-do list. Keeping healthy, managed to cook by myself for my lunchbox. Oh, that's amazing, Hazira. That's amazing. I was able to, okay, travel with friends and family and loved ones. Nice. I found out who is my true confidant and my friend. That is an amazing thing. I finished writing 2 projects. Wow, that's amazing. Managed to clear a really hard dungeon with my Aussie friends. Wow, amazing. Developed a taste for salads. Wow, that's great. So you kind of like have this newfound interest, right? Wei Shen says that consistently practice mindfulness exercise and brave through any hardship. That's amazing, Wei Shen. You know what this is called? This is called personal growth. You've been through a very terrible time this year, right? And you are doing something to brave through it. I can say that's personal growth. Keep on workout no matter how busy. Wow, Hoyin, you gotta give us your tips right now. How did you do that? I think all of us want to hear. Like, how do you keep your motivation to not give up, even though busy? Everyone here, I'm sure, is super busy. But how do you keep to it? Okay, lost 20 kg. Zainaria, that's an amazing achievement. Congratulations for that. Akbar says, okay, able to maintain my savings from salary for big goals. Amazing to save. You're a saver. Able to bring my dad to trip abroad for the very first time. You're a wonderful son. Okay, promotion at work, overseas trip to China, finally deciding to switch to a new church. Oh, that's nice, Vanessa. Congratulations. Having a spiritual awakening as well. Losing weight, travel with BFF, exercise daily. Nice. Very, very nice. Okay, 3 things that you learned this year about life. Can you tell me that you learned? What did you learn this year? Okay, just put one thing that you can think of that you learned this year. It's interesting. I used to tell my friend, my BFF, very much. I used to say, like, I can't live without you. We used to say that to each other. And then when she passed away, I realized, like, I'm still living without her. I survived. I can't believe it. And I learned that, you know what? When you have a strong, for me, it's spiritual support and social support and everything. By God's grace, you can survive any storm, and it's amazing. So that's what I learned. Family not necessarily will have your back during the dark days. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Went through proper grieving is important. Thank you, Asma. That's very true. Not everything will go as planned, and you can never be prepared for what is the worst. Yeah, you can't be prepared for things sometimes, and that's a good lesson, Helen. It's okay to let go because you will get something way better from your loss. That's nice, Akbar. That's a nice lesson. You know what? All of your words right now in the chat box sounds like Insta quotes. Why don't you screenshot something and put it on Insta? Because it's beautiful. It's okay to let go. Okay, be kind to yourself and others. Always grateful. Love yourself. Beautiful. Update your status, WhatsApp status with this. Very nice. Okay, 3 commitments that I would like to make for 2025. Can everyone share? Share one if you can. Okay, but actually, as I'm telling you to share, right, everybody, you are sharing in the chat box, and that's great. But please, can you write it somewhere for yourself? Because this is about you, actually. The reason we are typing this is not just to share with each other, it's for you to reflect upon yourself. If you can type it in your handphone notes or something, it's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it. That's beautiful. No matter what, be grateful as things happen for a reason. Love myself more. All right, love myself more. Okay, all right. I love that, Helen. What else? What else can you all of you say? And you can be very specific, by the way. How do you want to love yourself more? I want to take care of my health better, or I want to eat. I want to eat healthier, or something. I actually want to commit to, like what was it? Horyin, is it, who said just now? I'm. I want to commit to exercising every day, no matter how busy. Just like Horyin said just now. So exercise every day, no matter how busy. I love that. Okay, what about you guys? I commit to free myself from toxicity. I love that. What about the rest of you? I want to maintain my relationship with my inner circle and give more attention to them that I love. Okay, I have one more also. I want to be able to travel back home more. Like what Akbar says here. I want to give more attention to my family and friends also. The inner circle, right? Nice, Akbar. I love that. And you have a wife now, so you have a very nice social support system. Anybody else? One more. Can we take one more commitment? Can anyone share one more thing that you would like to commit to? And please make sure that you transfer what you're writing to your phone. You know, like you have your own notes section in your phone. Just type that. Three things I'm proud of, three lessons and three commitments. Right? Anybody else want to share one more commitment? One more commitment. Come on, everyone. Just one more. Declutter, clean and rearrange the house. I love that. Give it a bit of a Marie Kondo. I commit to materialize my plans for a road trip around the peninsula. So nice, right? To do that. It's all around peninsula in the west coast to try to go around. That's beautiful. That's such a nice idea. I'm from Penang and going around island trip so it's very fun. So doing that island hopping is also nice. That's a beautiful goal, Zainaria. Okay, now we're gonna get serious. Let's think about things that were toxic to us this year, things that were not helpful that happened this year, things that didn't serve us well at all and that were not good. We're going to learn how to embrace it, acknowledge that it was not helpful, it didn't serve its purpose, but I'm now going to let it go. It can be people also. It can be people. Things or people that didn't serve you. It was not a good blessing in your life. It was not good in your life. Setting boundaries. Anything that you feel like you want to let go of, you can mention in the chat or you can PM the PI. You can also, you know how to do that. You just put the Elias symbol and you can type it to me. I won't mention your name. Would you like to share that so we can do that together? What are some things? So just type the alias and you can send it to me so I can see. What are some things that didn't serve you and you would like to let go of? Okay, I see here like toxic people. Yeah, toxic people. That's true. Anything else? Anyone else? Busy schedule. You didn't have time for yourself. Okay, what else? Toxic management. All right. So you want to let go of that. How? Thank you, my dear. Ex-partner, anxiety, siblings that is not supportive. Yeah, that's really hard, you know. Sometimes it can make you feel alone. Knowing about the suffering others is going through. Yeah, actually, that's a very important thing that you mentioned. Sometimes when we know about the sufferings that others are going through, right, it's difficult for us to live happily sometimes if you keep absorbing it. You can help someone, you can know about the suffering, and you can even help them. But we need to know how to not absorb it. And now we cannot function pula. So you must know how to let go of it, have boundaries, and detach. So you help people, but you know how to detach. Negative thoughts, overthinking, must learn how not to absorb it. Yeah, correct, correct. As a psychologist, right? If I absorb all of it, it'll be difficult for me to cope, right? So what I do is I put some boundaries. You know, I like what one doctor said. When you help somebody, it's like you're opening the door into their world. You enter in and you help them. Then once you're done, don't forget to come out of that room and close the door. So then enter your world once again. So remember the closing the door is important because you need to focus on your life as well. Believe that the universe and God has your back. That's nice. I like that. And that's very helpful for us to realize that, right? So sometimes it's important for us to let go of things, you know? I feel like somebody said this just now in the chat box. Letting go of some things. Okay, rushing. Yes. Rushy. The whole life is rushing. Yes, correct. I want to let go of overworking. I want to let go of being a workaholic. Me personally. And anybody else can relate to that. So I would like to let go of that. always being afraid of people trying to, you know, please everyone. So I wouldn't let go of that. How to let go exactly? Is there a step or principle or something? Overthinking, negative thoughts, I just let go and try not to think so much. Yeah, exactly. Let it go. You know, one way to let it go is to have a notebook beside you when you're sleeping, because interestingly, overthinking tends to happen before you sleep, right? Can anybody relate to that? You know why? That's when now we are all functioning in beta mode. If you look at it as in terms of waves, brain waves, we are all functioning in beta right now. Before you go to sleep, you're sort of going into theta mode, before you really go into deep sleep, which is like delta. So when you're in a theta mode, you're slowly going into this very calm state. And when you're calm, that's when things that were shut down, shut away, but in the busy day starts to come into your awareness. And that's why those inner fears, inner thoughts, all those things sometimes come before we sleep. And writing it down and brain dumping it can be very, very helpful. Doing meditation can calm you. Yes, exactly, Putri. Great. Calm yourself down. So, Weishan has a very good example. I mean, a question just now. How to really let go? What's the step, right? I want to share with you this step that I do, which I learned, and also which I share with my clients, and it helps a lot. It's actually an art of forgiveness and letting go, and it's a concept in Hawaii. So I'm going to type it in the chat box. Take note of it. It sounds cute and funny, okay? The word is called Hupunopuno. Okay, that's the name. Later, okay, not now, but later after our talk, can you type in YouTube Hupunopuno? All right, the activity. But precisely, can you actually go to this particular one? I really, really like it very much. And I find it very helpful. So it's this video. He's famous. His name is Jason Stevenson. He has a lot of mindfulness meditation videos as well. And there's one about letting go, and it's called Ho'oponopono. So this is a concept that has existed for a very long time. It's the concept of forgiveness and the art of letting go. And you're supposed to say four things. So these are the steps, four things. So it starts off with, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. These four things. If you feel like this doesn't really relate to you, you can change the four things that in a way that suits you. So my client was abused before sexually, and she wanted to let go of that trauma and that memory and that feeling of being, abused and betrayed. And one of the things that we did together was this activity. Of course, she's not going to say these four things. So she changed it to, what you did was wrong, because the abuser actually has passed away. So she did not have that closure, and she felt like very betrayed. That was when she was young, she was a kid when it happened, and now as an adult, it was affecting her. So we did this activity, and it really, really helped us. So this is what she said: what you did was not right, and it was bad and wrong. But I choose to not let it control me anymore. I choose to be free from it, and I'm strong. I am someone who deserves to be loved, and I can make it through the day. Something along those lines. So what you would do is, together with this music, you would close your eyes. You would bring your awareness to that that thought that's keeping you captive. If it's an ex boyfriend or girlfriend, or if it's someone that was toxic to you, if it's a grief, like me and my friend, right? So thinking about that once again, mine would sound like these four statements lah. But if it's something negative, you might want to have a closure by having your own four statements that mean something to you. So this is how it goes. You would close your eyes. You can do it together with the video that I shared with you just now to look up. Then you would bring to awareness that particular event or incident that you want to let go of. Bring it to your awareness, embrace it, bring it to your awareness, invite it, to your awareness. Then say those four things, and you end with thank you. You know why? Thank you, like it's like you're symbolically letting it pass you by, like leaves on a stream. So the thank you is like, thank you. I've made my peace with you. Now go peacefully. Like that, in a way. If it's grief, I'm doing it more of like thank you to the person which I may not have said thank you to. It's like a very nice way to make peace. You can do it to someone that you feel like you hurt and you haven't apologized to that person, or even to forgive that person. And I even did it to my own self, meaning that me as an adult now, doing that activity to my younger self. Why did I allow myself to get bullied when I was younger? Blah, blah, blah. So, you loving yourself. Somebody said just now, self love for this next year, right? So, you can do that. You speaking to your younger self in a way, having a closure to that young girl or boy that needs that love. So, this letting go activity, everyone, you gotta do this alone, by the way, and do it with some music if you want to. And it's so therapeutic. And then my client was able to really, really heal from that abuse. I Is this something you would be open to try? Would you like to try this out? So this is something that you gotta do in your own privacy, and you making peace with things. You don't have to do it over and over. The interesting thing is, do it as many times as you want to. Up to you, totally up to you. So if I feel like that thought keeps coming to me, then I would do it. That means that you're affected by it. It's bothering you. Then you can do it. After a while, you will realize like you don't have to do it anymore, because you've made your peace and you have let go. That's how you know you've let go already. If it still keeps coming back, maybe you need to do it again and have a closure. So try it, everyone. Really, really therapeutic and beautiful. Okay, we have a poll right now. Another poll here. Okay. Now, do you look back and wish that you've done certain things differently? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say yes. Yes, definitely. I look back and I wish I did some things differently in 2024, even in 2023. Yeah, actually, I definitely would relate to this. A lot of you say yes. Some say sometimes. Yeah. Some say never. Wow, I admire the never one. So amazing, huh? I like that you're like, I accept it. It's okay. Even if I could do it again, I would still do the same thing. I love that. Okay. Anybody else? So sometimes it's on the lead right now. Sometimes it's on the lead. Anything else? Anybody else? All right. Awesome. Okay, we have a tie between yes and sometimes, right? Great. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you so, so, so much. Okay, we're going to come here. What is one thing that you really want to let go of, to not bring to the coming year? In Can you share in the type? Can you type in the chat box? What is one thing that you really want to let go of, and you don't want to bring to 2025? Anything? What is one thing that you really want to let go of? It can be people also. It can be regrets. You don't want to keep regretting. That's true, Zuleika. I was just talking about regrets today. I'm also a lecturer in university, and I was talking about regrets. I teach positive psychology. And do you know that regrets can really affect your immune system? And it can really, really affect how you feel. So a very good tip for you, it's normal to regret, kan? Betul, rasa bersalah, regret. It's very normal to regret lah, kan? But what do we do about it? Can I share with you a simple tip now? Can we do this together? Um, it's called yes, but it's the yes, but technique. So it goes like this. Yes, I should have done better. Yes, I should have called my friend more when she was alive. I should have done this and should have done that. I should have done everything. But it's not too late for me to try to make peace with that. It's not too late for me to ask for forgiveness. You can pray about it. In that letting go activity, you can even say sorry to that person. In your heart, you can say that. And it's not too late for me to strive to do better this year. That's what you can say. Laziness. Okay, Zanaria, thank you for the honesty. I will not. I will let to not stay at comfort zone, and be brave for any new challenges. I love that, Viton. Okay, Viton has a very nice statement there. Try not to care too much of what other people think. I love that. Thank you, my dear. That's a very good statement as well. That's one thing I want to let go of. Oh, that's good. That's really good. I want to let go of feeling afraid also. So afraid of upsetting people if I'm not available enough. That's my issue that I'm facing. If I'm not available enough to some people, they feel very offended and angry. So I want to not be afraid and affected by that. Definitely. Procrastination. That's true. Very, very true. How about perfectionism? Anybody here want to let go of perfectionism? That could also be something, right? Okay. Just now, slide 1 to slide 19 is all about looking back. Imbas kembali. That was all the reflection stage just now. Okay, everyone? We're going to go to part 2 now. And this is about moving forward. Now that we have reflected on three good things, three lessons, what do you want to take, your key takeaways, what's your peak achievements, what do you want to let go of? Now we're going to go into how do we move forward? What is your guiding intention? What do you really, really want to mindfully do this coming year? We really want to be able to shift from I want to do A, B, C, D. Do you know whenever you hear people say about New Year resolution, they always say that I want to be able to take on more projects. I want to be able to, um, sleep more. I want to be able to rest more. These are all achievement things, right? What if we move away from that? Because let's face it, everybody, how many New Year resolution did you actually achieve? Did you achieve everything? Maybe that's great if you did. Azam tahun baru. I mean, sometimes, right, by June, we already forgot lah what was on our list. Can you relate to that? So, how many of you can remember what was your New Year resolution for this year? Can you remember? You know what we want to do? Yes, somebody says, I can. I also forgot already. We put 10 things down. We forgot what is one of it also, right? So, you know what we want to do? We want to shift away from all those things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we want to go into being. You know what's being? Let's just be ourselves. Let's embrace our values and purpose and our character, and let's embrace. And how do we use that to achieve to actually go towards the direction that we want to go to in 2025, rather than achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You know how it's going to be? It's going to be like this. How would I want to show up for myself and my loved ones and my work? This is a good resolution. Don't you think so? To think about, how do I want to show up? How do I want to give to myself this next year? How do I want to give back, and be present for them? I think Akbar was saying that just now also. How do I really, really want to be present in my work? How do I want to give my all at my work as well? Be more. What qualities? Okay, the key word here is quality, everybody. Value and quality. What qualities do I want to really infuse into my life and enhance my quality of life in 2025? What's the quality I want to do? Okay, I want to share with you these two elements, techniques here. This is really wonderful technique and approach, okay? And it's wonderful. There are two approaches here. You got the soft or light element. You got the strong or driven element. So all of us have got two. We need to have two. Don't you think so? Would you say that your character or your value is more strong or soft, or a bit of both? What do you guys think? What do you think? Is it, soft? Both, right? Yeah, it's a bit of both. How many of you say you're more soft? You're more strong? Okay. Yes, you're more soft, is it? Okay. So which one are you? Do you know something? Having a bit of both is important. Only softness, soft means, right, your soft skills and everything. Only that, without being strong, you cannot grow. Only strong, but you don't have any softness, you can break. You're too strong, very all or nothing is dangerous also, right? So you know what's the key over here? I want to share with you what on earth are soft elements. Which one among all these words here makes your heart feel warm and fuzzy and at ease? Which quality really, really you hold close to your heart lah, that you feel helps you a lot as a person? Which one? What's your quality? What's your soft element? Which one represents you and really, really helps you a lot? This is the one that you hold close to your heart. I mean, there can be more than these elements, but soft elements. And then you kind of like end it with the ly, ly. Okay, generously. All right. Graciously. Okay. Anybody else? You can also PM the PI. Calmly. Okay. Choose one. I think I'm going to put mine as lovingly or joyfully. You can have two as well. Joyfully. Okay. Have you chosen your element? Write it down somewhere because we're going to do something. Okay, write it down. Patiently. Trustingly. Okay. Now the next one is called the strong one. Which quality really helps you, in yourself, right, towards living your highest potential in 2025, and you minimize your regrets? Which one of all of these? Which one really helps you? I think mine is persistent. So that was joyfully just now, and then persistent. All of you, can you write it down once you remember it? Okay. So mine was joyfully, persistent. Anybody else? Purposeful. Okay, courageous, determined. Now you put the two together. So you have soft element here, strong element. Okay, and this is how you do it, You will be putting it like this. I am gently persistent. Like that. I'm joyfully persistent. Or are you devotedly bold? So you put the soft element first, and then the strong element will be followed by that. And that represents your qualities that really represent who you are, which helps you to move forward in life. Okay, so let's do that together. Let's put the two together. Can you try it? I'm graciously powerful. I'm spontaneously brave. Can you do that? Can you type those two words that represent you, everyone? I'm lovingly bold. I'm patiently accomplished. Okay, what is your theme? Joyfully purposeful, nice. Lovingly courageous, joyfully determined, generously grow, amazing. So when you know your theme, okay, can you update your WhatsApp status or put it on an Insta? Put a very nice background and say, I am generously courageous. I am lovingly courageous. This will be your mantra in a way. When you keep putting it in your mind, like a self affirmation, I am trustingly powerful. It really reminds you of who you are. Don't you think so? It really helps you to think of 2025 in another way. You know what? Hoyin, I am Hoyin, trustingly powerful. That's your superpower. It's like your superpower. I am calmly determined. Remember Power Rangers? So that's like, this is your power, okay? Or Avengers, okay? Avengers Petala, okay? So this is going to be your superpower. All right, so everyone, which is your favorite part of today's session and what would be your key learning? What are some takeaways that you feel like it really touched your heart for today's session? Which one would you say really, really touched your heart and you feel like that's the one that I'm going to bring with me to 2025? Okay, the theme. Okay, some of you said the theme. Which one do you remember and you feel like you like it? Okay, is it the graph? Which do you feel like it's some takeaway point that you're going to really bring to 2025? Is it the graph? Is it the theme or the reflections? Okay, letting go sentence for, yeah, the forwards. Need soft and hard element, and that would be your mantra. Yes, that's a good one. Anybody else want to share? The graph, yeah, it really helps us, right? Some people call it draw my life graph. You can also put it like that, but this is actually for the year lah. Normally with my clients, right, we will ask them for like their life experiences. What are some significant milestones and experiences that they've been through from age as early as they can remember until now? That's another graph, that one is like a life graph. So today is like a year graph. Letting go, reflection, yes, definitely. Okay, I want to come here and share with you that Naluri actually has got lots of amazing supports and resources for you. So, but in the meantime, you can type some questions, yeah? Please feel free. So we also provide one-to-one therapy sessions. So this over here is my friend Diana in the picture here. You can scan to book with lots of other therapists as well. Anyone, you can choose the gender that you want. Based on the specialization that you want as well. You can see our a little bit of our specializations and our background. Okay, so this is therapy session for you. I find it very, very helpful when you talk to someone about what you're going through. All of us need someone to talk to, right? So this is where you can scan. Let me give you a moment to scan. If you'll get the handouts also, so don't worry. And here you can check your well-being. This is a free assessment for you. You can check what is your symptoms that you're going through, and you'll be able to get the result to see how are you functioning. And here also you can download the app in your phone, or if you prefer to type in your laptop, you can download this. This will direct you to the site to type in the laptop. I find it kind of nice to type in the laptop as well, but sometimes you just want something mobile on your phone, right? Okay. And this is, please follow us on Insta or also on Facebook. So you can also scan this. And don't worry if you haven't scanned some things, because we will give you the handouts in a short while. Okay, it's going to be in a PDF. And lastly, I would like to take any questions right now. Do you have any questions, anyone? Please don't forget to give feedback for us. Can you see that something that just popped up on your screen? It's on the left-hand corner. Please click on that and give us your feedback, everybody. Can you do that? And I would like to hear from you if you have any questions as well. Okay, the handouts is also ready to be downloaded. You can now download it under the handouts tab. All right, so before we close, I would like to ask you if you have any questions. So I'm going to give you some time to type it. If you would like to ask some questions, anything that you want to ask about how to reflect more, how to move forward, how to have a different, resolution 2025. Also, I just remembered something. It's nice if you can do your own vision board. If you're not sure of what it means, look it up and see. It's such a nice concept. How to process feelings better. Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you so much, Wei Shen. So here, how to process feelings better. I think, first of all, we need to understand what exactly are our feelings. So be aware of it. A lot of times we keep our feelings bottled up in a Tupperware. Let's say this is a feeling. This is another feeling, right? We have lots of feelings in I call it like people call it like can, right? So we need to open the can of worms. Sometimes processing feelings can be hard because we don't want to face it. We got so many things to face in a day. We don't want to process the feelings. It's difficult to process it. So we don't want to open the can of worms. So I would recommend talking to somebody is helpful, a good friend who is able to help you, or because they're not trained, maybe you can talk to any of us, a psychologist, a counselor, or you can call up a hotline. Naluri has a care line as well. Or you yourself, asking yourself, what am I going through right now? We actually have a mood journal, in Naluri app. We have a mood journal and a thought journal. So you can process it using that journal also. There are some questions over there to help answer, reflect on the thought or the feeling. So, how do you process it? One way, the first thing is to acknowledge its presence in you. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm upset. Acknowledge. Then reflect. What is this thought I'm having? What is this feeling that I'm feeling? What's the cause of this feeling? And how can I address this feeling? Maybe is it something, do I have to change the way I think or look at things? Or do I need to do something to make my feelings feel better? Like I need to vent or listen to something to meditate and do something about it. Or do I need to make some closure with somebody? Then I'll feel better. So process it, really break it down and see what's the root cause of why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. How do I feel better? How do I address this feeling? So that's kind of like, um, okay. So overthinking is when you have no control over your thoughts. But when you have control over your thought process, it's not so much overthinking, it's more like exploring. It's more like you having a thought process exploration. So don't do it too much also lah. Make sure you're controlling it. I would recommend using a thought journal, actually, or even writing it down. You can write it down and you can ask yourself like, okay, what happened just now? Let's process. I feel very angry with what she or he just said about me just now. Why am I feeling this way? Because it's not true what he said. He accused me of something and made fun of me, humiliated me. Okay, how can I feel better right now about that? I can choose to say that don't give in to that trigger and make yourself feel better by doing things to help yourself heal. So you do things for yourself to make yourself feel better. You have boundaries with that person maybe. So then you know how to process it, but acknowledge the presence of that emotion, because a lot of times we bottle it up and we don't acknowledge it. Sometimes processing feelings can make you feel cathartic, which means that you might cry, and that's not a bad thing. It's you processing it. Yeah, so that's a little bit of what you can do. Anything else? Anybody else would like to ask some question as well? Anybody has any other questions that you want to ask? You can also like PM me. Okay. Um, somebody here says that. Okay. Thank you so much, Rachel. Somebody here says, how do I avoid failing in my resolutions? Okay. That's why try not to put 10 resolutions, on a piece of paper and like, I have to achieve this by December. That's very overwhelming. I would recommend putting just the top three things that I want to be. Remember, it's not about having achievements, it's about being that best self of you. That's when you can actually think about your theme. Remember your theme just now? Gently optimistic and then trustingly powerful, your superpower. So use that. And how can I show up more at my work? How can I show up more with my family? What can I do to be my best self next year? When you think in terms of that, you go into being rather than having. And that's more rewarding actually. Think of top three things that you want to be next year. Can you think of that? Top three things. Then you make a vision board and it's super powerful, really. All right. Any other questions, everyone? How do you trust yourself better? Okay. I think one of the things that we need to do is to ask ourselves, what's making me not trust myself enough, that I want to trust myself better? What's causing me to not have enough trust in myself? For example, if you can't trust yourself to stick to a goal, right? What's my blocker that's making me feel like it's difficult to trust myself that I can stick to my goal of wanting to exercise better this year? So my answer for myself would be, because it's priority actually. My priorities are very different. I put like my work first, and that's why it's not so healthy, right? So how do I trust myself better? I actually have to make sure that I set some concrete goals and I'm able to keep to my theme. Who do I want to be? I am, let's say, Zainaria, a very healthy person who wants to keep to her goal. I am trustingly powerful. Since that's my superpower, I'm able to really keep my word, to really do what I plan to do next year. So that makes you trust yourself better. You actually be able to really discover what's causing me to not have enough trust on myself, actually. And then experiment, put a goal, and see how you can actually achieve it. As you keep doing that, you yourself will gain trust on yourself. So it's you trying trial and error, really trying it out, and then gain your own trust actually. But first of all, figuring out why it's difficult to trust yourself. You might say it's my workload, it's my life, every day my schedule is like that, that's why I cannot trust myself. So really find out, how do I address those blockers? Then you can trust yourself much much better. That's a really really deep and good question. All right, anybody else would like to ask something just before we close? Anyone else? Do we have another question? You can type in the chat box, if you um that's a very nice statement. Thank you so much, Zainara. Yes, exactly. Put yourself first. I used to put my work first. I'm saying I'm used to, because that's how I was before. It's always work first. Then after that, it's family. Then it's friends. Then it's me at the bottom. Because I felt like that's selfish if I put myself first. But actually, it's not. Self-care is not selfish. If you are 100%, then you can give 100%. If you are not okay, then you can't function and really show up for your family. So the hierarchy is, of course, higher power, God is number one. Then after that, your hierarchy is you first, then everything else, right? How to calm ourselves when we feel anxious. That's a very very good question actually. So Different strategies work differently for different people. So, a very nice way, if you're feeling very anxious, a very quick way to calm yourself is to do certain kind of strategies that can make your emotions be calm, which is very subjective to different people. So, for me, music helps a lot. If I'm very anxious or nervous about something before a presentation, before a report that I have to submit, I feel so anxious and stressed. I would use music, something that's very calming and nice that I like, that works for me. I would use that and calm myself. Or talking to somebody about it. Or a very quick thing is deep breathing, actually. Breathe. Just breathe. Take a very, very deep breath. Slowly hold it for a few seconds and then let it go. That's a very, very good way. Okay, panic attack. Yes, thank you so much. How to calm yourself. Let me give you a very quick tip for panic attack, Kim. One of the because when you're panicking, you can't think. So challenging your thoughts and all that is not really helpful at that time because it's a panic attack, right? So one way to really address it is to do the SOS technique. SOS is like, very, very emergency technique is to breathe. So before you breathe, you need to know how to breathe correctly first, right now. A lot of times people think that they're breathing correctly, but they're not. Can you very quickly, everyone, put your hand on your tummy? I just want to share with you a very quick tip. This is called a deep abdominal breathing that we learn in yoga. And I'm sure a lot of you know this also. So when you take a deep breath, does your tummy go outward or inward? What happens to your tummy? Does it go outward, like, or big, or inside? Can you type in the chat? What happens? Outward, right? Zainara is correct. That's good. So when you breathe in, it's like your tummy is like a balloon. It should go bigger, right? You're having more air. Sorry about the small balloon. Okay. It should have more air inside. You're right. It should go outward. But a lot of times we go inward, and that limits the amount of oxygen and air that you get into your abdomen and your lungs. Truba try. Let's do it together. Take a deep breath. Your whole abdomen and tummy like expanding and it's becoming bigger. Okay, now when you exhale, it goes dikachut and it goes inside, inward. Okay, let's do that together. Take a deep breath for 5 counts. 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5 more counts. And now exhale slowly. Why do we hold? Because you want to allow that oxygen to travel to all your organs, right, everyone? So that's one thing that you can do when you're having a panic attack. Just go to a calm place, look down, and just breathe. Because if you look around, you get distracted, and just breathe. Let me share with you another very, very simple technique that you can use. It's called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is actually a grounding technique. It's very famous grounding technique. I'm not sure if you heard of it before. Um, okay, if you're driving, you can still breathe. If you're driving as well, you can still breathe, right? Okay, sorry, somebody PM me. If you're driving, you can still focus on breathing. You can drive well. Breathe, focus. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you exhale out. Another way is this grounding technique called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which talks about you focusing on name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, right? Can you guys remember this one? 5 things that you can see. So name 5 things that you can see. 4 things you can touch. Okay, so I can see you guys, I can see my watch, I can see my laptop. You're naming it. Then 4 things you can touch. I can touch my desk, I can touch my chair, I can touch my Tupperware. I know 3 things I can hear. I can hear the aircon, my voice, and birds. 2 things you can smell. I can smell my perfume. I can smell the room. 1 thing you can taste. I can taste my coffee. Let's say, for example, when you do that, what you're doing is a very nice mind diversion and you are focusing on the here and now. Because when people are having a panic attack, they really cannot focus at all and they just like blank out. So you're focusing on being grounded. And if you can, remove your shoe and just feel the ground. If you can't do all that, just focus on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 things I can see, 4 things I can touch. If we breathe wrongly, but we still breathe and hold and release, does it work? It works. I mean, you still can be alive. You can still, it works to calm you down, but not as strongly as compared if you do it the correct way. Because you see, like a panic attack, right? It's like, I'm not really breathing in properly, right? My chest is going up and down. I'm barely getting any breath. But if you stop, breathe that deep abdominal way, expand your chest and your tummy, you will really feel much more oxygen. And then if you can, on the exhale, make it a bit longer, like 6 counts if it's possible. That will automatically slow the heart rate very, very well. You can try it out, feel for your pulse, and do this technique. It's very, very fast for you to realize your pulse rate dropping a little bit, and it's a very good way that you can do that. All right, everyone. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm aware of the time as well, but if you have one last question, you can ask. If not, it's also okay. I want to first of all thank you all so much for joining us, and I think you have great, great questions, and I really appreciate you participating. So, any questions so far? Thank you so much, Weishan. I want to give credit to the speaker who actually prepared this as well, because she was not able to be here, and that's credit to her actually. So thank you so much for all of you. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Mal. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate all of you a lot. I think you've all been great. You're one of the best audiences ever as well. So thank you. I think the original speaker, TJ Liu, I want to give credit to her. She's amazing preparing this deck as well. I had to fill in for her. So thank you, Davy. Thank you, Helen. Vanessa, thank you so much, everyone. I hope to see all of you again, right? Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Um, and nice, nice. I hope you have a holiday at the end of the year as well, and a great new year. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Farah. Thank you, Akbar. Thank you so much. You've all been great as well. Thank you so, so much. So don't forget, focus on yourself, self care, and start 2025 with you. All right. Thank you.